So today we're going to work on the black 2008 F-150. I've had a Banks exhaust system on that truck for the longest time. When I bought it from the original owner, Carl Williams, he had bought it brand new in 2008. He'd put this Banks exhaust on it, and I'd only heard of that exhaust being on diesel trucks, but sure enough, they make one for a gas-powered F-150. They still do today, by the way. So he had it on the truck. The muffler finally went out a few years back, so I put the same exhaust back on it, and it's a straight through, it's a 3-inch single tailpipe exhaust, comes out the passenger side behind the wheel, and it's a round muffler. So I put a new one on it, a new exhaust cap back on it a few years back, and it's been about, I don't know, I guess about 5 years now. So I've had the truck 12 years, and I guess about every 6 years or so, the muffler starts going out, and it's just the moisture gets in there and just basically blows the baffles out at it. It starts getting really loud, and the first muffler would rattle and all that. This muffler's not rattling, it's just kind of extra loud now, kind of aggressive, and I wanted to quiet it down some. So what I've got is I actually switched it up. I'm going to keep the same pipes on it, but I got a Flowmaster 3-inch muffler that I'm going to put on the truck. But for now, I'm just going to get the truck in here, and I'll let you hear kind of before, and then we'll do an after, so you get an idea what it's like. There's my wild rabbit hanging out. I guess he's looking for a carrot. Put this right here. You can see what it looks like. This is the round muffler, and this is the tip. Get you a sound clip. So the first thing we're going to do is get in here and spray our existing clamps here with some PB blasters so they can soak. As you can tell, they're a little rusty. If the muffler doesn't just tap it out like I want it to, I'll go in here and I'll cut it right in here on each side to get the muffler out of the way, and then I'll tap that off, and then we'll fit the Flowmaster on there. While we're here, I'll show you. This is the legendary Flowmaster muffler, and this is the one that I've got. It is the 50 series, part number 53055. It is a 3-inch inlet and outlet, center in, center out. It's about 1.5 inches wider on each side than this muffler is. So that's why I'm gonna try to retain everything in here at the same piping. If you'll notice, the hanger is not attached to the muffler, it's attached to this intermediate pipe. So hopefully by putting the muffler on, I can keep everything the same with the mount and all. I did measure it, it's the same overall length as this muffler. That came out pretty easy. All right, so basically you take a flat punch and a hammer, and you go in here and you bend the little tabs up on the muffler, front and rear. And then you take you some WD-40 and you lube up the hangers here for the tailpipe. And now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna slide this whole contraption back so I can actually get clearance I need to pull the muffler off the front here, and then I'll wiggle it off of this pipe, put the other muffler in place. Well, that took a little more effort. this. A little different, but I can show you. It is the same length. Now here's something that might happen. So sometime in shipping, this hole is no longer exactly round. So when I go to put my pipe in, it doesn't want to slide in. See how it's not fitting? So luckily, I'm prepared for this scenario. I actually have a tailpipe expander insert your own joke here, and I can put this in there and spin it. It'll actually expand that muffler a little bit so we can make the pipe fit. And this is what it looks like. I got this from O'Reilly's, part number 67097. It does 2 1/8 up to 3 and basically 7/16. We're gonna put this in here because guess what? I've had this issue before when I was doing the Hemi exhaust on the 68 Charger. So it ain't my first rodeo, if you know what I'm saying. So let me put this together. So the way this works is you put this in here, you put a socket on here, and you tighten this down. As you tighten this down, it expands this out. And in my case, it's just gonna make it more round, just enough till the tailpipe fits in there. So I'll do this a couple times, expand it out, get the tailpipe in, away we go. I just noticed, trying to get my impact up in here, and tailpipe's gonna be in the way. So let me put the camera down, get this in here, show you the end result. All right, that actually wasn't too bad. Expand it real quick, went ahead and slid the tailpipe in, and then slid it all forward here, and went ahead and tried to line it up. What I did, I put a little bit of tilt in the muffler so it's not straight up and down, just a slight tilt in it. And I went back here and I made sure that my tailpipe had plenty of clearance right here to the leaf springs, and also that the tailpipe looked pretty straight here. All right, so I had to regroup. Those clamps that I had bought with the muffler were garbage. They were not tightening up enough right in here. And so I went to the local AutoZone and I got the standard clamps. They didn't have any stainless steel. I had to get these regular steel ones, which is what I had, that were all rusted up on my other ones. But either way, they lasted for 4 or 5 years. So we'll give these a go. Put them on here, tighten them down, front and rear. And you'll see it gives a nice circular pattern crush top and bottom. So they are now on and tight. So now we are good to go. And you'll see the way this has, it's a 2.5 inch, and then it goes from here and it swells up to 3, runs down to the muffler, and then it's actually 3.5 tailpipe out the back, which gives it that kind of a deeper sound than what most exhaust systems have, which is kind of why I like it. So we'll see how this Flowmaster does. This one had a little bit of a leak when I first put it on. You can see how that clamp, after 5 years or so, it gets all rusty, but as long as we're not taking it off, it should be all right. And yeah, I'll lower it down and we'll see what it sounds like. This is just safety. I like putting something under here to kind of support the truck. This is a big heavy truck being on the lift. Call it being a little extra safe when you're working under a vehicle, but I like to do it. So anyway, that's that. If I didn't have my cars in here, I'd shoot a little black paint on here, but I don't want to overspray in the air and get all on my cars. So maybe when I get outside later, I'll crawl under here. I'll shoot a little black paint on these just to keep them from rusting immediately. And we'll go from there. But not bad for a 2008 Lariat F150. We'll see how it sounds. carbon up a little bit until we get the true sound in it. No leaks under here. That's awesome. Sounds pretty mellow in here. Alright, so we're going for a quick test drive. I can tell you right now, first impression, it's definitely quieter inside the cab than it was previously with the Banks. So we'll, I got a GoPro on the outside of the truck too, so we'll have some inside and outside. Let's see here. Still sounds great, but it's definitely a little tamer now. I like it. All right, let's try this again. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. That's exactly the sound I was hoping it would do. It's got a nice deep tone when you're on it, but when you're cruising, it actually is really mellow in here. Got the TTSaleen seal of approval. Till next time, stay tuned for more interesting, technical, and real-world videos.